Now, obviously I was very new to this, and there's my introduction, usual sort of introduction plan, main references. But the word that you have to remember when you're doing anything to do with Maximaphily is concordance, because the whole point of the collecting genre is to collect a picture postcard with a stamp with a relevant picture cancelled by a relevant cancellation, and this relevance is called concordance. So there we have a Caucasian tur goat and a picture of a Caucasian tur, and although you can't really make it out, there is a really quite nice postmark of a Caucasian tur goat. So you have perfect concordance between the picture, the stamp and the postmark. Now you do have to tell a story as well as just showing things which are concordant, and my story starts off with domestic goats, because the goat is a pretty important animal. I mean, it's been an important animal all through history and continues to be. In many third world countries, the goat is still one of the basic important parts of the economy. So we have some domestic goats there. If there is no special postmark, a town postmark is fine. So the top one there, you've got a town postmark rather than anything special. Moving on, we have more domestic goats on the second one, and these are baby goats. And the last one of the domestic goats is this one, and you'll notice one's got a red line round it. As a judge, I always like to see some way of illustrating more important items, probably rarer items. The way I decided to sort out importance for these was partly age, and partly I had Francis's list of how much he spent on some of these things, and so it was partly to do with the value of them. Moving on from domestic goats, we have goats in science. Two interesting things there. The way that goats have been used in the fight against brucellosis amongst other different diseases. And then the breeds, and we start with perhaps the most famous, the chamois. And we have the chamois, a little study of the chamois actually, with its summer coat, its winter coat, and then its very dark coat. So three bits about the chamois. Then on to mountain goats. Now there's a problem with this, because the bottom Japanese card there, Christian Earle pointed this out, that you're supposed to use postcards which are full plate, and there you have one which is half plate, and I think I might get into trouble with the judges for that one. It's something in the rules that I hadn't noticed. It's the first time I've done this, so slap on the wrist for that one. And possibly the bottom card there, although I might get away with that one perhaps. So we're on to the ibex now. Mountain goats to ibex. More about the ibex. Rather a nice card at the top there. Again with a cartoon postmark, because there was no special postmark for that. Endangered breeds, and this is the Ethiopian Walia goat, which is a type of ibex. It's a type of ibex, and it apparently lives only in one mountain range in Ethiopia, and there aren't very many of them left. Going on to national parks, goats living in national parks. Two different sorts of national parks there, and from national parks we go on to the mountain parks, and then finally goats in art and in literature. And in conclusion, astrology, again not a full plate picture at the top there, might get a criticism for that one. And of course Christianity, at the birth of Christ, there amongst the animals was of course a goat. So moving back, I see we're up to 5:25, so need to be packing up in a minute. Quite pretty. Maximaphily hasn't had the best press, I suppose, amongst British collectors, but it's postcard collecting really. It's postcard collecting with a difference. So there's my effort. It will be going into Stampex at some point in the future. I don't suppose it will do brilliantly well, but at least it is an effort to look at a different way of collecting things. And I'm all in favour of doing that. So until next time, something different again next time. Hope you enjoyed it.